YouTube. We are back again with part 2 of the Puti review for the Halo TV series, baby. You know what I'm talking about? So I brought back the homies once again, Mr. MWestBy. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? I'm back.
My cousin, Jovi2 Joint. Yeah, I mean, they're back again. Once again, all the social medias and all that good stuff, if you do not follow us already, will be down in the description below. And we're going to get into this straight up. Same format, but it's a little more polished this time around, all right? It's a different crew, so it's, you know what I'm saying, we got to get used to certain things like this, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get right into it. Episode 4. You know what? Let's start with my cousin. Cuzzo, what did you think of episode 4? We're not even gonna go with negatives, positives. We're just gonna talk about our thoughts overall on the episodes one by one.
Wait, a quick reminder of the intro of that one.
That's the one he was having flashbacks as a child off rip, where they went to his home planet. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So very episode 4, very story driven, right? A lot of story on that one. I do like the fact that they went back to his home planet, right? They went back to his home planet. We went back to see the spots that you were seeing in his flashbacks, which were very interesting. You're like, okay, he knows what's up. He knows something is up, and you keep seeing Dr. Miranda, not Dr. Miranda, but keep seeing the doctor and her what is he?
A little
lab
sidekick.
rat?
Yeah.
Her sidekick. They kept making that eye contact throughout the episode, like, yo, he's about to find out. Oh, he's on to us. You know, like they kept giving each other that look, and I hate him. I hate that lab rat guy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's so scummy. Like he's always got that look, like kind of like, oh, I can't believe Master Chief. Like you could tell he's obsessed with the doctor. Yeah. You could tell because of that scene that he like starts, or he goes to kiss. You know what I'm talking about? That like weird, that creepy vibe that he gives.
The gives off,
the weird vibes. So yeah, I really enjoy that they're going there. They were looking for those pictures. Master Chief has those visions, and then you see that part that Cortana goes, I'm not controlling these visions anymore. This is all him. So you could tell Master Chief is just really going into his own memories. It's not Cortana anymore. It's him. It's him finding out what's really happening, what really went down.
Yeah.
You go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
So for me, I like how they introduced I think it's Governor Venture in this episode, where what's her name? Quan, right? Quan, she has the bounty on her head. She's looking for the rebellion in that town. Everybody's kind of like turning against her, and the way they introduce him as kind of like this villainous person who's coming after anybody that's in the rebellion and whatnot was dope. The story in this though was really they dove deep. I mean, they get deeper into it within the latest episodes, but in this episode is kind of where they started showing how cruel the I guess what they're Marines or whatever, the UNMC, the Spartan program, how the Spartan program was set up, how they pretty much just like kidnapped a bunch of young kids and made them into like mutants, pretty much, where they were just superhuman robot kind of beings, and they show it in each episode how different Master Chief is compared to the rest of them after he took the pellet out. Also, with Kia taking out her pellet in the beginning of the episode, Kia's the one that wiped the, did the little hair trick in this episode, where she now the side of her hair is red, all that kind of stuff. I think they did a lot well with building the story and where it was heading in this episode. Like when Quan goes to her dad's funeral. I know this is a little side story, but I like the little side story in it because it's like, we met her in episode 1. What the hell's happening with her? Like, what does she have to do with this story? So them building out that part where she ran into her aunt and her aunt got smoked. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole thing was pretty dope. And then at the end of the episode, I know they introduced the doctor meeting Master Chief as a kid, meeting John as a kid. And that's kind of where the episode just like, next episode, brother. They ended on a little little cliffhanger. So Wes, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Do you think, baby?
I don't have anything wild to say about the episode, and I definitely agree with you and Jovi. I think they're doing a good job at kind of building up the story. You think of Master Chief as this killing machine, right? This Spartan 711 that can't be defeated, and he kills covenants, and he kicks butts, and he does all these superhuman things, and they're showing how it all started, how messed up and fucked up this shit is, and seeing how he was taken from his family and these memories and things, and how shady the doctor really is. They're doing a good job at kind of building the story. My favorite parts are the action, but I do believe we need to see this type of building of the story in order for us to really understand what makes Master Chief, and how much shit he has to, like, I guess, put out of his head to do what he does so well. So I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed episode 4. I think the story was overall pretty good. And to be honest, I don't even remember. Like, there's like, as you talk about it, like the side stuff with Quan and all that stuff. I'm so focused on Master Chief, and I want to see so much more of him.
Right.
I almost like I'll like almost look away or look at my phone or something. Like, I don't care as much. Just get to Chief, get to the Covenant. I want to see more of it,
Right.
and
Yeah,
but I do appreciate them having like smaller storylines and things happening in the background. So episode
yeah.
4 was cool.
Yeah. Also in episode 4, I forgot to mention that's when they started running tests on other Spartans to see if they got the same reaction that Master Chief had, and of course they didn't,
Mhm,
because Master Chief
mhm.
is that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
that one
he has
of
the it
one.
factor.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So we'll move on to episode 5. Okay. So we'll start off. Wes, you can start off about episode 5. Your takeaways from it. I thoroughly enjoyed episode 5 personally, so I'm gonna get into that when I go. But Wes first, then Cuzzo, and then I'll go.
I don't remember anything from episode 5 except for the action, right? That's all I could think about. So I was rewatching it to get prepared for today, and I was looking at how it started, and I just fast forwarded straight to the action towards the tail end of it, because that's what got me the most hypest, when the Spartans were all running next to the warthog.
Oh my
Man, you can
god.
tell like they were superhuman. Like, they're built different. And it raised some questions in my head, like, how come the normal Marines don't have the suits with the shields that come up and down? How come they only just have on like normal armor and they get taken out so easy? Not my problem, their problem. But I enjoyed seeing Master Chief just do his thing, and to see this kind of full Covenant attack happen. Um, them jump the wait, so the how the Covenant came from the sky, all the different forgot what all the little aliens were called, but there was a brute
Yep.
that came down. A lot of action. Anything else that stood out to me from that? Um, and then Master Chief's ability to like still care and disobey protocol, and then like save his team member and things like that. Showed that he still was human. Like, the way how they speak about Master Chief, like he's
The
just a
devil.
robot or a killing
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
Yeah, he cares about the people that he's in command of, and it's just dope to kind of see something I've been playing for so many years come to life in this way. I feel
Yeah.
like my wildest fantasies are happening, and I'm seeing more of this guy that I knew nothing about, and I'm really enjoying the story unfold. And the action scene felt like something from the game, and to me, I feel like episode 5 had like the best action by far, and I don't know
Hmm.
if any other episodes come close to it.
No. All right,
That's
Cuzzo.
Um,
what I got.
so me personally, I loved it. I love the fact they introduced like you said, the brute, the big ass brute that carried the
Mhm.
hammer and grabbed the artifact like it was nothing and then took off. I love that. I love they had the grunt that jumped into the driver's seat of
That
one of
scene
the
was
warthogs.
phenomenal.
They had the jackals, which was another one. Those are kind of like the ones with the mohawks that laugh a
And they had
lot.
the energy
I
swords, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Hmm.
As soon as he
jackal.
dropped, he picked up a freaking energy sword, started cutting up Marines.
Hmm.
Like, I love that they're introducing all the characters we're used to from campaign mode and from online and
Hmm.
different
Right.
things like that. Um, so the scene where that I thought was pretty big was that because there was a scene where Master Chief had a conversation with what's her name, Kai, right?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And that's when they had the conversation about removing the pellet and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
you can tell that he cares from her in that scene because he did not allow her to go into the battlefield because of her decisions, right? So I think all the action combined with the story they're trying to tell, it's just working so well. That episode there specifically, episode 5, they brought everything together really, really well. All the drama from the story they're telling about the artifacts, and the
Mhm.
fact that they brought they made a little base location for that second artifact that they
Yep.
found, you know. And the second that you heard like somebody, I think it was what's his AI called again?
Cortana.
Yeah, I think it was Cortana's like, oh, somebody just entered slip space. That's when you know shit was about to go down. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
somebody has just arrived from space, and you know what was gonna happen, but you know it was about to go down.
Right.
Go ahead, Chris.
Also, for me, I like you were saying, I love how they tied the whole story kind of together in this episode with where it was going. So in the last episode, they found the artifact, and then this one starts where the whole crew is there pretty much protecting the artifact, trying to figure out how to get it out safely because they know this thing has a life to it. It's not like just something they can just grab and go.
Yeah.
They kept Master Chief away from it for the entire like beginning of it because they knew that he has this connection with the other one and whatnot. But then it randomly the little, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name, but the annoying guy that's on Dr. Halsey's ball sack. He got too close to it, and then a pulse went out, which is what sent the which is what sent the beacon out to everybody else. Where what's this girl's name? Oh, I'm trying to remember her name. Is it Malik? No, McKee.
McKee, yeah.
The alien other chick that's connected. They showed the connection between her and Master Chief in this episode heavy. And basically, like the side story didn't really matter too much in this episode to me. I don't know why they put it into this episode. I don't think it was needed. The whole start, that was my biggest issue with this one was them bringing in the whole Quan and situation with the handcuffs to the motorcycle was not needed at all.
Yeah.
Because then once the action started, it was like, I don't care about this stupid part. They're getting it popping right now. He stole the car. He was like, yo, my turn to drive. Shot him out.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
They gave us literally, like you guys were saying, the best action we've seen overall in the entire series. Like it was beautiful. And it ended off with the another like cliffhanger-ish kind of thing where after the brute comes and takes the artifact, then McKee drops out of nowhere and she's just, oh, I was a hostage. I was in a hostage situation with the Covenant, but you speak their language perfectly, you liar. You know what I'm saying? Lying. So
before we move on to to episode 6, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Have you guys looked into any of the Halo lore or knows like what really happened, like how humanity completely got erased and started all over again?
no,
Are
actually.
you guys?
I watched a like YouTube video back in the day of like the Halo lore of like not Halo lore, but the Master Chief lore, like his story. But it's a bit different than what I've saw on YouTube. So, why do you ask?
Well, because it's kind of interesting that how they're dealing with these artifacts in the TV show. Like they have so many books and a lot of lore and a lot of things out there, and it would have been cool to know like some of that history. Like this artifact wiped out humanity and erased everything, and that's why the Covenant wanted, and it's this powerful tool. And maybe that's going to come later, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping like some of that leaks into this. And I don't know if that's like too heavy into the Halo universe, but to kind of know that humanity was there, it was flourishing, it was a beautiful society, and these rings or this artifact has the power to start everything, wipe out the entire universe is interesting, and hopefully that gets put on there. But yeah, I was right when Halo Infinite was going to drop. I started like digging into like Halo lore, and I think I spent like an hour and a half just like watching video after video and just trying to really understand what the story was. So. It's kind of curious.
Oh.
All right,
So
back to you,
speaking
Chris.
of that, we'll move on to episode 6. So, Cuzzo, we'll start with you. What did you feel about episode 6, baby?
This is the one that because I watched I think I watched 7 last night, so I'm confused between 6 and 7. 6 is the one that starts off.
They're on the ship and they're trying to heal Kai. or K, whatever her
I'll
name
help you figure it out. Episode 7 sucks.
is.
Go.
Okay. So episode 7 is more of another story-driven
Yeah.
episode with yeah. First of all, thank goodness she made it, Kai, because
Really?
I'm like rooting for her, dude. And I know that they're making her a huge, yeah, they're making her a pretty much bigger part of the story. And I'm curious why. And I don't know if it was just to do this part where she's like, oh, she almost died. No, she's okay. You know, kind of moment. Kind of like make you feel for her. But yeah, I'm glad she's good. I like her because she's like the rebellious. I don't know, the rebellious Spartan. Like the other two are really in line, right? You could tell. Like I think this is the episode where she's like, "Have you ever wondered whatever?" And then he's like looking at her, and she's like, "You ever wonder why you never wonder?" And he's like, "I'm about to put my foot up your ass if you keep asking me questions like that." I'm pretty sure it's the same episode. Um, but that's why I like her because she's like curious. She wants to know what's going on, just like Master Chief. But yeah, this is after epic episode like episode 5.
Yeah.
This episode it felt a bit slow. It definitely felt a bit slow. A lot of story, a lot of back and forth, a lot of like I'm not sure if they're trying to do a love thing between Master Chief and McKee, or if they're like, oh hey, you guys are destined to love each other, or if it's like I don't know where they're going with it. To be completely honest with you, I was confused a little bit personally. But how about you guys? You guys like this episode? Are you confused? Are you?
Oh, Wes, go ahead.
I'm about to say some raw shit. All
Do
right,
it,
here
baby.
we
Go.
go. I'm just kidding. um, the Spartan that you're rooting for, she seems like a weak Spartan to me, and
Yeah.
I want her out. I don't have room for weakness in the Spartan club. I'm not gonna do the little gender thing. We're all equal. We're all up here. We're all Spartans. We're here to fuck shit up. And if you're gonna be getting shot up and tagged, then get your goofy ass out. Sit down. You taking bullets out your back. Sit your goofy ass down. I don't want you in here. And maybe they're working up to maybe a love story, but I don't know. She's not cute enough for the chief. I wouldn't allow that. I'd
No, I
definitely
don't think
protest.
they're gonna do love story
I'm
with
just
her.
saying. I want Master Chief to get the real ladies. But I thought the episode was after coming down from the high of episode 5, which
You're
was a
right,
lot of
right.
action, into 6, it's more story driven, but there was some interesting things that happened in the story. The chief is starting to realize, what's going on. He's more of his memories are flooding in. And is this the episode, Amo, that he locked the doctor in
Yes.
the
Yep. He
I
tries
think
to
it
kill her
is.
in like the first 10 minutes.
So to me, that all these memories are coming back, and we're learning more about how shady and messed up the doctor is. And
Oh
then you're
God.
hearing what the doctor's kind of saying. It's like, I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about what's going to happen in our future. That's what I'm trying to fix and prevent. So you're like, she seems shady, like she just wants to be the smartest, but her insight, or her, I guess maybe her thoughts are so far out there that she's seeing that we can't win this war against the Covenant. These superhumans that we thought were going to be great, they're good at reacting, but they're not going to prevent this, and we need to plan better. And I think this artifact is the thing. So those things are starting to come out, and Master Chief, being who he is, he's so intelligent that he was like, hey, I want to know if Cortana's a failsafe, if she's here to keep me in check. Because if this bitch is in my head to keep me in check, we're gonna figure it out right now. I'm gonna
hmm
put you in this thing. You're gonna die.
hmm
Have your little AI get you out. And then he's
Yeah.
like, "Good. I just want to check that bitch can't do shit to
Right,
me. I'm
right.
Master Chief."
That's literally what he
And I
did.
and I like seeing that. Like, Chief is this badass character to me. He's big, he's strong, he's intelligent, and I like seeing it. So even though it was story driven, him doing that to the doctor, kind of checking her, like tread lightly, bitch, because no disrespect to her, to ladies out there, but tread lightly. I really enjoyed seeing that, and I
Yeah.
like how it's developing. And I forgot the girl's name who dropped down from the Covenant ship,
McKee.
and McKee, and you know. uh, the chief interrogating her, and then it's not like, oh, we believe everything you're saying. Chief is like, why should I trust you? You
Right.
fell from the sky. You've been chilling with them for all these years, and you look in good condition. You didn't come down looking shitty in nasty clothes
Yep.
with shit on your face. You came looking fly, cute haircut, little bob, and everything. You smell good. She looked like she smelled good. Uh, Chief is interrogating her like, yo, I don't trust you, but maybe there's some type of connection, but whatever. So while it's not all the action I wanted, I think this gave us some really good details, some insight, and some good story content to kind of push it forward.
Yeah.
So
For
I
sure.
enjoyed this episode.
Yeah. So for me, I like how it starts off because Chief went to go knock Shorty out, right? Which is why he did the whole thing with the Cortana failsafe thing, because Cortana's the one that shut him down pretty much.
Yep.
When he went to go punch on her shit, he was like, yeah, knocked him out. Yeah, right. So that was him trying to test it, like, can she really like control me, or was it just like a all right, put me to sleep kind of thing, which is what she did. So I like that. It threw me off. I thought he was gonna smoke her. I was like, yo, she's dead good. Get her out of here. Right? Because then later on in the episode, there's another part that I liked, even though it was, a story driven, where she starts getting emotional with Miranda, right? Because Miranda's kind of figuring out things as well, where she's like, yo, my dad's kind of a piece of shit. He's been working with this bitch and they fucking kidnapped all these kids and all this extra stuff. So she's like, what the hell's been going on here that you guys haven't been telling everybody, kind of thing, where she's kind of helping out Master Chief, where they ran the test on the, on the artifact as well. Like that part was really dope. But then that whole scene where she gets like real personal with Miranda, starts crying, and then all of a sudden her little, rat buddy cuts the corner, and she's like, did you get all that? And I was like,
we did it.
I was like, she lied, she faked the whole thing. It was fake. I knew it. Right? So I'm like, I want to fight her, yo. She's getting me tight. Like, what are you doing? Where she's not only playing the Spartans, she's playing the whole system, because they have the whole council of admirals that pull up in this episode, where they took this lady off the board, was like, no, it's gonna be in control of the UNMC or whatever. Like the whole Spartan program, you're done with it. It's not working the way you guys had planned, kind of stuff. And then the whole connection with McKee and Master Chief in this episode was dope to me, where she's speaking to him like, you should know, they call me the Blessed One, and the guy in like episode 2 had called Master Chief that as well. Like, oh, you don't even know who you are. You're the Blessed One. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. You mean space crackhead?
Space crackhead.
Yeah. Where basically, they're connecting the whole thing, and then how when they ran the test at the end with the whole with the artifact, where they pretty much sync together heartbeats, heart rate, all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
And then seeing the actual like Halo for the first time was amazing to me. Like the visual that they put in, like whatever CGI they used for that was amazing. It looked beautiful. But like you said, I don't know where they're going with that. Are they going to be a romantic couple? I know we've seen the talks about how he loses his virginity. I didn't watch the last episode or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
So I don't know, but it was a little weird when he touched her face, and I was just like, what happened?
Yeah,
you were just talking
felt like
about
a romantic thing,
right? Because it was like you were just saying you don't trust this woman whatsoever, and then now you're over here caressing her face in a world that's not even real. You're inside the artifact pretty much. Like, what's going on here, kind of thing. But overall, I've enjoyed. I think 5 and 6 were some of the best episodes of the series. So without further ado, time to give the Puti review. What's your Puti Fritos out of 10, baby, for these last 3 episodes, 4 through 6?
I would give this 8 Puti Fritos out of 10. It's a solid. There was so much action, and I can only say I want more of this. If this is what they're doing, please give me more.
Puzzle?
I would have to agree with Wes this time around. 8 out of 10 for me as well. I feel like they added a lot more action, a lot more purpose-driven story where they're heading in the right direction with the story. But just to see how they implement it, I'm curious. It's still not over. They're still releasing it. Right. I'm curious to see how they want to turn this story, how they want to make the story end, how they want to go with it. Because they'll probably make more seasons after this, right?
100%.
I
don't see why they wouldn't.
This is like a whole franchise they're gonna take off with.
They could have got a 9, but they just need to add some more shit in the game. That's why I took a point off.
Yeah, true.
Work on your game instead of this TV show. Give us a little something.
Some team doubles, anything.
Right?
And
lost the point.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna have to agree with you guys as well. These 3 episodes, I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. I think we all thoroughly enjoyed it, and we like the way the story's going. Let's hope they keep it up as we watch the rest of this. And we'll be back for part 3, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you guys know the vibes. We out of here. Yeah.